I think bad bugs look divine. Holy shit, thunder. Scientists have been studying him for 50 years, but it turned out that I couldn't even figure out where his head was. And when I first discovered the milk bed, the scientist also directly put his head, put it on the butt. The world's leading paleontologists. Just like this 500 million-year-old butt. He held countless academic seminars. He wrote hundreds of papers, made thousands of museum models. But only later did I realize that these were all wrong. This can be called the most ridiculous oolong in the history of paleontology. And even more outrageous when they finally found the heavy bullet. I just found out that I was painting this guy upside down. This is the opposite of a whole half-century. And when scientists renamed the bomb, I used the word hallucination. Because the first scientist to see his fossil, on the spot, he thought he was hallucinating. Because this guy has 7 pairs of legs. And his legs are still growing straight out of his back. He even has 14 spikes stuck in his back. No one knows about these spines. What is it used for? But what broke the scientists even more was bad guy except for the mouth, because it's not just teeth in his mouth. He even has a second row of teeth in his throat. These teeth go all the way down the esophagus. What does that mean? Means anything he bites will be affected by this tooth conveyor belt. Hook into the body section by section until it was delivered to his stomach. The prey has no chance of breaking free at all. There are paleontologists who say emergence of the grotesque bug led evolution. There was a bug that we still can't explain. Because it's weird. Branches that do not belong to any one species, nor in any known evolutionary route. It's like an alien from another planet. Throw him into the sea of Han weapons. It's not supposed to exist at all. But what really makes scientists feel cold? It's not that lazy people are weird. It was how he disappeared. Because of irrigation, worms have been on Earth for 20 million years. But one day, they suddenly disappeared en masse. No disaster, no natural enemies, no sign of struggle. Entire species disappear. The only thing is like being pressed. Don't look at the cycle of life. Listening to ancient echo, no, one earthling. I didn't say it earlier. Today we're going to talk about badass bugs. That's weird, this guy. How was it discovered by humans? The story begins more than 100 years ago in 1909. American paleontologist Charles Walcott in Britain, Canada. In the Rocky Mountains in Colombia. He found a bottom floor that stunned him. It's a place called the Berg's Night Salt. A whole mountain. It's densely sealed. 500 million the ocean years ago, biological fossil. When opening these rocks, he doesn't know himself. What a Pandora's box. And that's where the grotesque bug was dug up. But here's the thing. This bug is really, really tiny. The whole body adds up to less than 3 centimeters. It's a circle smaller than your fingernail. But it's such a little guy. Let the world's top scientists, over the next century or so, repeated the vision, wrong again and again. And the first one happened in 1977. British paleontologist Simon Conway. After Morris got the fossil, I studied him for a long time. Then he gave a message for everyone. Not really. The actual conclusion is that this creature is hard on its back. Stab around. Rotors hunt with tentacles on their abdomens. His name is Manager Heluxi. which translates to hallucination. And then, next, museums all over the world, and I started to model this. Exhibited and even written into textbooks. And the students just looked at it in the museum. It's the little bug that just sticks to the ground with its thorns. And I thought, how wonderful is the evolutionary world? But no one knows. They've been watching for decades. It's actually an inverted bug. It was not until later that scientists discovered those so-called legs are not legs at all. Those are just defensive spines on the back of the strange nitrogen worm. And the real legs, in fact, it is those things that are regarded as tentacles. That is to say, this bug was turned upside down by scientists. Then stood upside down in a museum for decades. No one noticed. But that's not all. Because I think it's more of a question of courage. Scientists have discovered a pattern in the fossil. Paced round spots, and then they take it for granted. That's the head. Results are available in 2015. Paleontologist at the University of Cambridge, Martin Smith. More sophisticated equipment rests in the studio. I just found another one. The fact that everyone is silent because of the supposed head. Actually, not the head at all. That's just the bad guy before he dies. Rotten residue leaking from the tail. That is to say, the world's leading scientists. Against the digestive tract residue of this bug. It's been wrong for decades. They thought it was the face of a badass bug. So here's the problem. Where is the real head of the strange eggworm? It's not that hard. Because the real head of the strange eggworm, just on the other end, that's it. One with two tiny. The eyes and mouth are round. It's surrounded by a ring of tiny teeth. Mysterious creature. Just stay there quietly. Waiting for humanity for half a century. Finally recognized. And as soon as these news came out, the paleontological community was in shock. Some scholars even joked that this is the history of science. The most expensive admission study, because it means decades of research dollars. Hundreds of papers. Countless museum exhibits. All have to be redone. But that's not all. Because the gentleman of the grotesque bug is fatal. What really makes scientists feel. The cool part of the back. Because of all known animals on Earth. Almost can find their place on the evolutionary tree. Insect, fish, reptile, mammal, root-chasing team member can be connected into a purification line, but the nitrogen worm can't. Because of his anatomy. On any known purification path. Can't find the corresponding source. I can't find his descendants. He is like a lonely island. In the ocean 500 million years ago. Sudden appearance. Then suddenly disappear. This means that grotesque bug, probably during the explosion of life 500 million years ago. An evolutionary experiment that failed miserably. He lived for 20 million years, but left no descendants on Earth. There isn't a single branch of life that exists. Can be traced back to him. He existed, then it disappears completely. It's like it's never been in the future. What is the concept of 20 million years? The entire history of our civilization. It's only been 10,000 years. And it's weird. Worms have been on Earth for 20 million years. 2,000 times the size of human civilization, and burst like a bubble. It disappeared without a sound. No sign of destruction was left. No natural disasters. No competitor has eliminated it. Record of destruction. There's no evidence of climate perimeter. Scientists have proposed the disappearance of the strange nitrogen worm. It is likely that it is related to the late cold marine ecosystem. Violent restructuring. Because at that time, more complex and efficient predators are popping up. Then the whole structure of the food chain is rapidly unfolded. And no wonder it's so slow to climb gold. Small creatures without the ability to escape quickly. Probably in this birth shuffle. Completely squeezed out of living space. There is also another view that the grotesque bug isn't really going extinct. It evolved into something else. And they lived on. There is a modern velvet worm. A kind of life in the tropics. Mollusks under the leaves of the jungle. In terms of body structure and walking style, it bears a striking resemblance to the nitrogen worm. Some scientists believe that there may be a direct interaction between them. Inheritance relationship. Maybe it's the lazy ones that never went away. He just changed his face, silently hiding in the forest. But either way, so far no conclusion has been made. The problem this little bug left us with, more than the answers he left behind. In fact, the story of the strange insect on the surface, it's a story about an extinction event. But it's a mirror, because it's not just a 51-year photo. Outline of the creature, it also reveals the limitations of human cognition itself. The world's top scientists, studying the same fossil for 100 years. Overthrow yourself over and over. From captured upside down to dislocated head and tail, to mistaking a stain for a head. Every time we think we've finally figured it out, you may find out in the next second, everything was wrong before. We always assume that the boundaries of the known are the boundaries of the world. But the grotesque bug tells us, on this planet, there are countless possible beliefs that life has existed. And most of the life we have never even seen. More than 99% of the species that have ever lived on Earth. Extinct, but in a sense, they seem to have never disappeared. They just changed their way, reminding us all the time, life is far more powerful than we imagine. The Earth has never been fully explored. History has never been fully understood. And our understanding of the world, it will always be just the beginning. The Earth is still there. The darkness is still there. The unknown is still there.